Hey guys, sorry I'm a little bit late here. Something was happening I had to take care of. But anyway, welcome to another Bambino game stream. This time FSEconomy X Plane 11 in VR with Oculus Rift. See, we're early morning flight here in my SR20, the Bambino SR20, continuing the trip to across country to get this plane to LA so I can have someone cart it to Hawaii for me. That's the whole goal here. I did stream the other day, ending up, I forget where I was supposed to end up, but somehow things crashed on me and I had to kill the stream, for those of you guys that were watching it. And unfortunately, I had to start over. So I'm actually starting in KMAW, which is Malden. That's where I landed last time. I took off from Malden and was going to go someplace else, but the X-plane crashed. So I'm just picking it up from Malden, and let me show you what we got planned for today. Get my Sky Vector. You can see Sky Vector here. We're going to go from Malden to KUNO. KUNO is West Plains Municipal in West Plains, Missouri. And then we're going to end up in KIDP, which is Independence. Now, when we get to KUNO, we've got, did someone, do I have those? Oh, someone grabbed those flights. Damn. Oh, I had a sign. Oh, there they are. Okay. Whew. Because I think I had these assignments I'm going to grab from KUNO to KIDP, because just to make a little bit of money, we're going to make 2,700. We'll have 2,700 in revenue, so we'll probably make about maybe 2,200 or something, just so we have a little bit of money. The other trips are, I just don't have the, there's no passengers to take. But, you know, the whole idea is I have to get westerly. So this is a direct westerly connection, and you could see my goal is to end up here in where's Las Vegas? Is it Las Vegas here? Yeah, oh, no, right there. Las Vegas, KLAS, McCarran, I guess it is. Is that McCarran? Yeah, I think it's McCarran. In any event, so you can see we're heading on a westerly path, and we're going to hopefully get there in 2 more trips. We should get there in 2 more trips. This is going to be 280 nautical miles. These are all non-towered airports, so I'll be doing basically doing pattern procedures to land at them, and should be lots of fun. So let me just get my FSEconomy. So we know here, first thing I want to do is, here's my plane. So let's pull. Oh, before I do that, let me show you. I'm let me go to hold on, let me get this up here. FSEconomy. Show you my aircraft. I do have an aircraft for sale for anybody interested. Beechcraft King Air C90. It's in Charlotte, which is a very busy airport. You can see here lots and lots of stuff to fly it's Charlotte, and it's only one of 2 C90s there, and it does get a lot of rentals there. So I'm selling that for $950K to anybody that's interested, and I have plans for that money to buy a different plane. So check that out if you're interested in buying a King Air. Now, the nice thing about the King Air is that next plane 11, it's a stock plane, so you don't need to buy a separate plane, which is cool. So in any event, we've got, starting here at MAW, and when we get to KUNO, we're going to take these 3 flights. Okay, so I'm going to just add these right now so I have them in my flights. And here I want to rent my Cessna, my Cirrus 120, my SR20. So that's now rented. All right, so we can go to my flight. And here we are. We're holding area. We're at MAW. We're going to fly to KUNO. And once we get to KUNO, we're going to pick these 3 people up, and then we'll fly to KIDP. So we got $2,700. I've got 40 gallons in the tank now, so that's plenty to get to where we're going. And I've got my flight plan all set, and that should be it. So let me just get rid of that. And I appreciate you guys flying along here. Hit the like button on the stream if you like to, and say something in the chat. Love to talk to you in the chat. I'm going to try to pop the chat out and put it into FlyInside. Hopefully that'll work. We shall see. But in any event, for now, let me just get this music off here. May turn it on later. We'll see. And let's get inside the plane and get things started up. So, all right. Cold and dark in the SR20. All right, let's get our mixture to full, rich, and we'll get our throttle to about 25%. Get our batteries on. Oops. Okay. And clear prop. I do have a button set up for that. We're on one-way 2-2. Okay, let's get our alternator on. Both of them. Avionics on, and our lights, and our heat. And we should be good to go. So let's load up our flight plan. I already have that in FMS right there. Verify our flight plan. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Verify the flight plan. Those are the three airports. UNO and IDP. So beautiful. Flight plan verified. So let things warm up a little bit. One thing I like to do is turn off the glass reflection, just so it makes it look a little better. You don't have all that reflection stuff going on there. All right, let's set transponder. Well, I tell you what, let's go to the checklist. All right, we did all the, we would assume a pre-flight inspection, but let's just go outside and make sure, oops. Let's make sure ailerons are working. I'm using my flight stick. And elevators are working, and the rudder pedals are working. Good. All right, so we've got that back inside. All right, weight and balances, we'll deal with that with pilot edge, emergency equipment on board, passengers, we don't have any. Seatbelts are locked and fastened. Okay. We already started the engine. We're going to move the power level back to idle. And we'll go to the next one here. Before takeoff, flaps, we're going to want at preset 1%. Or the first percent radio and avionics. We're going to set those up right now. So we're heading to, let me get my binder out. Well, we're in MAW right now. So let me just look at the frequency. CTAF is 122.8. SETCOM 1 to 122.8.
COM1 set to 122.8.
SETCOM 2 to 119.82.
COM2 set to 119.82.
All right. So we got our frequency set. So we can listen to ATIS. Fuel selector, we'll deal with that once we set up a pilot edge. It's a taxi, one parking brake, disengaged brakes, directional. Gyro's good, altitude. We're going to set our altitude. Let's listen to ATIS right now.
Malden Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 23. Dew point -15. Altimeter 2939.
2939. Beautiful. Okay, good. All right, let's just check our compass is at 232, and up there we're just about 232. Good. Let's see. So let's get our. We have our. Hold on. Back. We want our transponder on altimeter 1200. We're squawking BFR. It's good. I like to put the CDI onto GPS because we're going to be using nav. Put the PDF on there, so I have a GPS right there. Back to there. So then we put the inset in and turn that on, declutter that, and then back to there. And I like to have nearest airport up there. Good. Everything's good. We've got KUNO. 93 nautical miles. Here's a problem. It says 93 hours and 34 minutes. That doesn't seem right. Let me just see something here. Let me look at the flight plan back. Let's get the... Let me look at the flight plan. Ooh, something's wrong there. Oh, distance. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I think that's... Yeah, total distance 1280. Okay, that makes sense. All right, just want to make sure because that estimated time is 93:34. Maybe that's because we're sitting still. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, no need to worry there. So flight plan is good. Just wanted to make sure of that. Where's my cursor? There's my cursor. Okay, now what's left? Oh, let's get FSEconomy on. So we'll go to, you guys can't see this, but I'm turning FSEconomy on. Log in, start flight, confirm, no passengers, but 40 gallons of fuel. Okay, and we're in progress, going to KUNO. And let's see here. All right, I think we're good to go. We're going to be departing run 22. We're going to be heading to the west, departing to the west. And we're going to climb to, let's call it, well, let me see this next airport we have to go to. Let me go to binder, KUNO, information, elevation 1200. Okay, so we know we got to be at 1200 there. So we'll make sure, and I got my, you see I got the flight plan inside flight plan go also, so we'll make sure we're going to be at 1200. So let's fly at 3000. Where's my mouse? Come on, mouse. The mystery mouse. Sometimes it's... All right, let's fly to 3000. There's 1200 altitude. It would be nice if it showed you the altitude on nearest airports. But it does show you the frequency, which is good. All right, 30, good. All right, so that's where we're going to be heading to, and we've got our flight plan ready to go. We're going to be departing to the south. We're going to be departing to the west, due west. All right. So let's CTAF know. Where are we? Malden. Malden traffic. Cirrus 328 Tango Delta departing runway 22 to the west to 3000 Malden. All right, so we're going to depart to the west, and we are good to go here. All right, for some reason the stream is really delayed, and I have it on like low latency. I'm not sure why, guys, but I'm trying to fix that problem, but I guess we will fix it soon enough. All right, let me just make sure everything's cool here. And it is. I'm not sure why this isn't updating. I just had to update the map there. Sorry, guys. For some reason, the map wasn't updated. All right, good. Ready to go to UNO. Okay, departing. Here we go. And we're good to go. Let's power up. Flaps to 1. And here we go. We want to rotate it about 65, 70 knots. There's 65 and rotate. Gonna fly runway heading until we get to the end, and then we'll turn to the west. And flaps up. All right, runway heading cleared, and we'll turn to the west. Let's keep our climb at about 500 feet per minute. Just gain some airspeed. Hey, thanks for the subscribe. Is it Abshack? I can't see it because I'm in the headset, but I just looked at it very briefly. Thank you for subscription. I appreciate that. Good speed to climb is about 110 knots, I believe, with this plane. So because we're going to be landing at an airport that's about 1,200 feet, so we'll be 1,800 feet above, assuming the ceiling on the pattern is 1,000. So trying to get on a GPS. I got 112, which is nice climbing out speed. A lot of farmland here. I guess we're in Kentucky, right? Or Missouri. Once I get a cruise altitude, I'll engage the I'll pull up the chat so I can see it in the cockpit. Hopefully that won't kill X-Plane. I don't want to have a crash like last time. That was a real bummer. All right, coming up to altitude here. Get our autopilot ready. Level the plane off. And we should be good to go right there. All right, so let me get my engine. And once we get up to speed here, I want to trim things out a little bit. let's take care. Let's get up to speed here. I'm not sure why I'm going down. I should not be going down. We'll just hold there at 29.34. That's fine. All right, let's get up to about 140. I'm on almost 145, 150, and then we should be good to go here. So, gotta check. Gotta check my text messages. We'll go to the first leg here, Juno, or KUNO. All right, we're at 146, so let's start to bring back the mixture a little bit, get it down to about, you can see the EGT going up there. Get it down to about 11 gallons per hour. I got plenty of fuel, so I'd rather fly faster, so we'll just we'll keep it at, let's keep it at 12. Actually, I can even increase it because you can see my range. You guys probably can't see that, but the range is increasing, so I can actually fly full throttle here at or 86, I should say, and we're still got 413 range. I really don't care how much gas I burn. I want to fly fast, so we'll just fly fast as we can. All right, good. Let's fly right there. Probably not realistic in the way you would actually fly, but that's all right. And I do have my tank buttons set up, so I can just, on the new stick that I have got, so I could just go to the, it's a good idea to go to the right tank. I was on the left tank because you could see there's a little imbalance there, and you want to keep those tanks balanced. So good, let's take a look here. We've got 31 minutes, 82 nautical miles to KUNO, Uniform Nancy, what's O? I forget. See, I'm not good with that. I got to get better with that. All right. Nice how the PFD pops out like that. So let's set our frequencies for the next airport. Let's see. Let's go to my binder. Bring up UNO. Let's check out the frequencies. So it's 122.8, which is, we're already on COM1. Set COM2 to 123.82.
COM2 set to 123.82.
Okay, so now we got that. Our runways are 18. We're going to do a 18 and 36. We're heading, let's just see remarks. Is it left? It doesn't say what the pattern is. Let's look at the map. And this is saying there's an L there, so this is a left. Looks like it's a left approach or a left traffic, so let me think about this for a second. So if we're going to go to 18, we want to be left, so we can enter the left downwind at 18. So that's what we'll do. We'll enter on the, we'll land at 36. We'll enter the left downwind for runway 36. That's what we'll do. So let's set our heading bug to 360, which it already is. Is it? No. Set heading bug to 360. Set heading bug to 360.
Heading bug set to 360 degrees.
Okay, so that's going to be our runway, 36, okay? Do it that way. Cool. And this is West Plains. So we're good to go. We've got everything pretty much set up for West Plains. We'll report when we get about 20 miles out, and So anyway, let's see. So yeah, so we had the bomb yesterday, unfortunately, with X-Plane. What happened was I went to go on a break and I put my headset down, my VR headset, and for some reason everything just hung up. So I can't do that again. No, I don't want that to happen. What you're seeing is the Oculus mirror image. And what happens is when you put the headset down, that goes black, and you can't, and for some reason it just hung up X-Plane. So in any event, we won't make that mistake again. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few people in the stream here. If you guys are watching, just say something a little in the chat. In fact, let me get the chat window popped out. And what I want to do is see if I can pull that into FlyInside, go to Sim, go to Import Window, go to Live Chat, add, enter Simulator. It's right over there. And I wonder if I don't touch it. Well, I like to have it. I like to grab it and put it like right there. So it's easier to see. Now let's see if I have the ability to use the mouse. See, now I can't use the mouse. That's what sucks. All right, let me close this now. Try one more thing here. This is the problem I'm having. So if I close that window, now let me import it again. But this time I want to have the X-Plane mouse engaged. Import window, go to that, add, enter simulator. And let's see if the mouse is working now. Yeah, okay, so I have to have, once you do this, you can't, I think as long as you have the mouse engaged with X-Plane, where's the window? There it is. Put it right there. You have to engage the mouse on the X-Plane window and then bring this in. If I have the mouse like on, because I have two monitors, so if I have the mouse active on a different window like Chrome or something, this will hang up. So that's the problem. It doesn't like to I think it doesn't like to transfer control of the mouse back and forth. So hopefully this will work for now. If not, I'll just kill it. But all right, so we've got X-Plane 11 1.0 coming up soon. Also, wanted to let you know about a new thing that I've added. It's a Facebook group called VR Aviators. I'll put a link. There's a link in the description, so you can just click on that. It's facebook.com/group/VR Aviators. Now, it's the VR Aviators group. There's also a VR Aviators page. That's not us. It's the VR Aviators group. You'll see a logo with this cockpit and two HMDs, the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, and it has our logo, the VR Aviators, and it says virtual reality flight simulation. We've already got about 30 people joined in 2 days, which is great, and a lot of it's really designed for people that are enthusiastic about flying simulators in VR. Doesn't matter which simulator. If you've got X-Plane, if you've got P3D, if you've got FSX, if you've got Aerofly FS2, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as it's a PC-based flight sim that has VR support, we're happy to talk about it, and you can join. Even if you don't and you're interested in flying in VR and you haven't yet taken the plunge, please feel free to join. Maybe you can learn something from the folks that are there that have some experience with flying in VR. So that's the whole idea, to share thoughts, to communicate, to connect, to chat, and to help each other do this VR flight thing better. That's the whole idea. Because we got some exciting things coming up. Towards the end of the year, we should see native VR from X-Plane 11, which is going to really change things quite a bit for us VR aviators. And you've got FlyInside making improvements constantly to their third-party engine, which is what allows me to fly right now in VR in X-Plane 11. So some really cool stuff in the VR Aviators Facebook group. Please feel free to join it. Love to love to see you guys in there. And actually, the name for the group came from this guy right here, Donovan Young, who was actually my first Patreon ace level supporter, which is why he got his name on the wing there. And that name will always be there as long as you're supporting the stream. Your name will be there. But Donovan came up with the idea. I was going to call it the VR Flyers Club, which sounds, actually, now that I think about it, sounds really lame. He came up with the name VR Aviators. Perfect name, because that's what we are. We're VR Aviators. And look forward to seeing you guys if you're interested in joining up, and I'll approve you write what you want. There is a question you have to answer, just to make sure we're not getting any people in the group that are going to spam. So you answer that question. It's an easy question that you should have the answer to if you're into flight simulation, and then I'll get you into the group. All right. So yeah, please join, and feel free to join this discussion. I think it should be a lot of fun. So that's the VR Aviators group on Facebook. So the other thing is, I downloaded DCS. Now, I know that Belgeode will like to hear this, but because he's a big DCS guy. I had tried, in fact, the first flight simulator I ever flew in VR was DCS. Back before I got the Oculus Rift, I had an HDK2 from Razer and OSVR, and that was my first entry into VR, and it worked with DCS. So I downloaded DCS from Steam, which was free, and they've give you couple planes. I think it's 2 planes, and I hopped into VR and was blown away flying in VR. Now I had some glitches, like once I was flying along, and all of a sudden it put me outside of the plane, and I think that was more of the HDK2 than anything else. But so it's been a while. In fact, I've got a video from like probably over a year ago that I have on the channel of me flying the HDK2 and DCS. But this week I downloaded DCS and tried it in the Rift, and it's pretty amazing. That's got some issues that I have got to probably try to tweak out, but with some settings. But I'm going to start to take a little bit of look at DCS, because I do like some of the military stuff. I'm not up on all of the controls and settings in those cockpits. They are very complicated, but I do like to fly fast, so it'd be kind of cool once in a while to try DCS. Now I know the graphics are really, really good, and because it's native VR, the frame rates are really good too. So we'll see. I'm going to be experimenting with it, off channel and off stream, just to get my bearings in there, and we'll see where it goes from there. But potentially we could have some DCS content coming to the channel if I find a plane that I really like, and as I delve into it, if the feature set becomes something that I like. So DCS, starting to get into that. Also wanted to talk about for a look, because we're in FSEconomy. Oh, see, I just lost my. I just had a little glitch there. Let me see if I still got the mouse. Yeah, still got the mouse. Good. I just, what did I want to say? Oh, last night I was just checking out my YouTube stream, and channel called Three Wheel. I think it's called Three Green Gaming. I think that's what it's called. Forget the guy's name, but he's a flight sim enthusiast, like a study level flight sim enthusiast, and he had a podcast where they talked about FSEconomy. Just search FSEconomy podcast and you'll probably find the video. It was put up yesterday. It's very interesting because there's one guy, there's 3 guys on the podcast, maybe 4 guys, and one of the guys there has been using FSEconomy for like 7 years, and he really had some interesting insight into FSEconomy, things that I didn't know. Oh, there's my, oh crap. By accident, I just put the mixture to 0. That could have been a catastrophe. All right, let me just make sure I don't do anything stupid here. All right, my chat moved. Yeah, it seems whenever X-Plane changes scenery and FlyInside has that little scenery glitch that this window moves, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Let me just make sure my mouse is still working here. Yeah, okay. All right, so FSEconomy. So search for FSEconomy podcast. It was posted yesterday. Very interesting information. One of the guys there has been using FSEconomy for, like I said, for like 6-7 years. And he was saying that, you know, I didn't realize this, but it's like over a decade old, FSEconomy. It's been around for like 15 years. And it started back in Flight Simulator 9, which ran on Windows 98, right? And apparently the guy who started it has said that his mission, his strategy for FSEconomy is that it will always support FS9. So now the problem there is that, I don't know if you guys are into FSEconomy, you probably know that sometimes airports that are in FSEconomy are not in like SkyVector or on the current databases because they've gone away or they changed or they've closed or whatever. So there's right now there's like a real mismatch between the FSEconomy and the real world. Now, I don't see it that much because I only fly in the U.S., but what I heard last night was that it's pretty dramatic when you start to expand all over the world. So apparently, FSEconomy is in a stagnant state where they're not going to do any changes to keep it up to date with, you know, current database. And you could see by the interface that it is an older designed web interface, right? It's basically, it's what you would expect if you turn the clock back 15 years. It's the kind of GUI, the kind of UI that you would, user interface that you would expect a website to be developed as, you know, back if it was like 15 years ago. You know, since then things have changed quite a bit. There's been some advances in HTML. Hey, someone just subscribed to the channel. That would be, let me see. Can't read it right now. Let me just see who it is. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. Well, I missed that one, guys. So anyway, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. But anyway, type your name in the channel if you want to, and I'll give you a shout out in the chat, I should say. So yeah, you could. So, but since then, there's been a lot of advances in web development, but I guess that's why the GUI remains the way it is, because the guy who's developed it does not want to make any changes. So in any event, I just thought that was kind of interesting, and apparently there used to be some real. Oh, someone else just subscribed, and I can't read it. Let me just see. Stradivarius 71. Thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, you know, apparently they're the people that run it are objective to or do not want to change it. Do not want to update it. Well, I guess it's their prerogative, but it would be cool if they start to advance it a little bit and maybe, you know, put in some additional feature sets and stuff like that. I know people have been asking for a lot of stuff for a long time, but apparently, you know, there's some flight groups on there that are making millions in FSEconomy dollars because they started off very early on and they own FBOs in, like, you know, KSAN and LAX and Newark and LaGuardia and JFK and like, you know, Atlanta and all these real big hubs. And the people that have those FBOs are making, like, you know, $50,000 a day or 500, you know, big numbers every day. And they never fly at all. So that's kind of a problem too. Like, I think there should be some rules in FSEconomy where if you own an FBO, right, and you just sit on it for 10 years and you never fly the game, you never play the game, you're never in the economy, I don't know. It's kind of, to me, that's kind of like kills the spirit of it, right? Because that, for someone like me who's really into FSEconomy or getting into FSEconomy, it's so hard if you want to go the FBO route to build like an empire, an airport empire. It's almost impossible because those, you know, better FBOs never come up for sale, right? And you really can't make it unless you get an FBO that's getting a lot of churn and a lot of assignments and a lot of flights, you know, every month. So, you know, I think they need to think about that And, you know, because let's face it, we're talking about virtual money here. So if someone's not willing to put the time into the game, because it is a game, FSEconomy is a game, right? I think that they should, if they're not willing to put the time into actually playing the game and just want to sit back and get fat on virtual money, I think there should be some sort of rules against that. So anyway, just my thought, but interesting podcast. If you're into FSEconomy, check it out. Just do a search on YouTube on FSEconomy podcast, and you should find it. So be sure to check that out. I was eager to see that because I get the sense that FSEconomy is kind of like, you know, not really growing, you know, and it's been around there forever. And I think that if there was some effort to improve things, modernize things, modernize the GUI a little bit, make some changes, make it more interesting, I think it could really grow into something that's, you know, expansive. And you know, I think it's important because, you know, and they mentioned this in the podcast, but I've thought about this before myself. When you're into flight simulation, okay, basically you buy the flight simulator, you learn how to fly the plane, you take the plane off, you navigate, you communicate, you land. That's pretty much it to the game. Or it's not a game. That's pretty much it to the simulation, right? So you can add things like Pilot Edge, and okay, that's cool, but that just adds communication, right? FSEconomy gives you like a purpose, right? I have a purpose in this series that I'm doing right here, right? My purpose is to get this plane to Los Angeles so that I can hire somebody to ship it to Hawaii because I want to have an SR20 in Hawaii, right? Not because I think I'm going to make any money with it. It's just I want to be able to fly an SR20 in the Hawaiian Islands because I like flying in Hawaii. And there's no SR20 there now. And my way of doing this is to get it here. So I have a mission. I have a purpose to strap on my headset and fire up the plane, right? And light the candle and take off and spend time in the plane doing something. And FSEconomy gives flight simulation a purpose, and it works with X-Plane, FSX. It was really built on FSX, right? I'm not sure if it works with P3D. I think it does. Doesn't work with FSW, that's going to be a problem for them. They really should. FSW should get in contact with FSEconomy and build an interface, because that would help FSW. Even though it's got limited navigation skills, it would be good for FSW to be involved. Anyway, but it's perfect for X-Plane because now I'm a real-world pilot in the virtual world, right? I've got to plot a course. I've got to figure out how I can, you know, make money, how I can find, you know, I want to go west. So every time I go through this, every time I put together a flight plan for one of these streams, I have a starting point and I try to pick up I want to go west, and I'm trying to pick up at least 3 passengers so I can make some money to pay for gas, right? It would be optimal if I could do it every leg, but it's almost impossible. And you guys don't see this, but behind the scenes, when I'm setting up a flight plan, I'll go through like 5, 6, 10 different airports en route from where I am to try to find something where I can make a little money. And I know there's some tools that can help you to do that. I do it all manually. But in any event, it's a purpose, right? It's a purpose. So that's why FSEconomy, I think, is important. And by the way, it's free. It's free, which amazes me because I really think that these guys could charge $5 a month and everybody would pay it. I'd pay $5 a month to FSEconomy. Now, I think the reason why they don't charge is because if they charge, then they've got to make changes and they've got to listen to their customers. And they've got to, you know, keep it up to date, and they've got, you know, if they're not charging for it, the person that runs it doesn't have to do anything, right? So I think that's the reason why it's free, because they're not obligated to any paying consumers, but they could easily charge for it, and people would pay $5 for it, $10. I probably pay $10. I pay $9 a month, $10 a month, because it's a really cool system, and it gives flight simulation a purpose. You know, what I thought would be really cool is if somehow you can integrate ATS, American Truck Simulator, with FSEconomy, or even, well, probably not Train Simulator, but American Truck Simulator. Now, the problem is American Truck Simulator doesn't have the full map of the world. It's only got certain maps, and in European Truck Simulator the same. But let's say if it was integrated, then you could use the trucks to carry stuff to FBOs. That'd be kind of cool, right? So you can get into all of that and add that simulation level to it. But in any event, that aside, I think that FSEconomy provides a real service to the flight sim community, and I think it's probably in their best interest, even though, you know, they want to stick to the, you know, supporting a 15-year-old flight sim. I think it's important for them. It would be good for them to kind of come up with the times a little bit. That's just my feelings on it. But anyway, that's it. Check out that stream. It's very thought-provoking for those really into FSEconomy. And I don't, you know, I'm still learning about it. Like, there's the whole FBO thing. I'm still learning about that, and you know, deciding whether or not I want to plunge into it. Right now, I'm more like into owning aircraft. Like, I own this one. I own a King Air C90, which I have up for sale, by the way. It's in Charlotte. I think I mentioned that before. $950,000 in Charlotte. KCLT. Lots of jobs there in Charlotte to run. Lots of people renting it. I get really good rentals on it. It's a good plane to rent, but I want to sell that and buy a different plane. So if you're interested, go to Charlotte and buy my King Air. It's King Air C90. It's I think it's 328 BG is the tail number, but it'll say, in the owner, it'll say Bambino, so you know it's me. But in any event, that's FSEconomy. Pretty cool podcast. Check that out. All right, so let's check our status here. We are 33 miles out. Let's just check our engines. Everything looking good. How about the tanks? Probably should switch to the left tank. So I got my button here. Boom, just switch to the left tank. Does it have outside air temp? Yeah, 18 Celsius. Is it times 2 plus 30? I think it is. I can't remember what it is. Local time is 6:49 in the AM. Alrighty. Checking out the scenery. Where the hell are we? Let's see where we are here. We are, let's see, let me go to topographical, upper left-hand corner, guys. Oops. Where are we? We are... I don't know where the hell we are. We're Oregon. Oh, Oregon County. Okay. Ozarks. So I guess we're in Kentucky. I think we're in Kentucky. Let's see. Where's this airport? Checklist. Binders. Missouri. We're in Missouri. All right. So we said we're going to be landing on 3-6. And we've got our comms all set up for West Plains. So we'll report at 20 miles out. And we are 28 miles out. A little bit of time here. Yeah, so I'm really digging the new flight stick, the Thrustmaster T1600M, which is what I like most about this is I set it up for left-handed, so I can basically mimic the left-hand control that you have in the SR20, and it gives me some extra buttons, but it's very sensitive and very comfortable. So $60 on Amazon, I think pretty reasonable for a flight stick. I mean, it's not a Thrustmaster Warthog or whatever it's called. It's got all that functionality, and that looks like a really good stick. But that's also really expensive. This is 60 bucks. Well made, heavy, doesn't move on the desk. I got a link in the description if you want to pick one up on Amazon. If you use my link, I'll get a little stipend from it. But yeah, check that out. I really do like it. It's a cool. So far, I really like. In fact, it makes landing a lot easier. So I'm not, but I'm not sure if it's completely realistic to the yoke on the real SR20, but it does give me the feeling of flying with one hand. So the only thing I don't like about the 1600 series, the what is it, FCS series, whatever, is that the throttle that comes with this, I would have bought it, but it's a left-handed throttle that can't be switched. So you can't, if you can switch, if you could switch the stick to left hand, you should be able to switch the throttle to right hand, which you can't do. So unfortunately, that's kind of a bummer. But I may take another look at it, because it would be nice to have that throttle here if I'm going to fly this most of the time, and then I could use my yoke if I'm going to fly like the B1900D or the Cessna or one of those planes. I'll go back to yoke, But it would be nice to have that throttle, because it is kind of like a throttle like you would see on here. So I'm going to have to take a look at it, and maybe it won't be too uncomfortable to use it with my right hand. We'll see. I'll look into that a little bit deeper. So we're 23 out from KUNO, West Plain. Is that what it is? Just make sure. We're going to be West Plains. Okay, good. All right, we got our CTAF frequency 122.8, 22.8, and we got our comms. We'll just listen to the comms. Or sorry, ATIS.
West Plains Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 21, dew point -15. Altimeter 2939.
Okay, good. All right, so let's, we're at 21. West Plains traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 20 miles east of the airfield. We'll be coming into left downwind for full stop landing on runway 36 West Plains. All right, that's our announcement. So everybody in the area knows we're coming. But I didn't tell them my altitude. That's a mistake. I should say 3,000. I'll make sure we do that at 15. At 15 out. And we are on the left tank, which is good. I need a new gaming chair, desk chair. My chair is really old and kind of wobbly. I want to get myself a nice, comfortable, firm chair. I think that's my next step. My next thing I'm going to purchase. I guess all the VR aviators are sleeping right now. Not many people in the chat. That's okay. Usually have a lot of people in there. Let's check out our frame rates. Oof. Dog slow frame rates. And that's because you see all those trees? That's all autogen. And I'm pretty sure that that's what slows things down, which is why it takes a long time to a longer time to fly. Because once you go under 20, time slows down in the simulator. So now the good news is pretty soon we're going to be, well, not pretty soon, but eventually we're going to get to more desert area, which will mean less autogen, which will mean better better rates. So for now we'll have to put up with it. Ground speed 160. I mean, we're moving along, but the simulator is moving slow. West Plains, right? West Plains. West Plains traffic, Cirrus SR20 Tango Delta. We are 15 miles east of the airfield at 3,000 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for runway 36, full stop landing, West Plains. All right, that's a little better. Now they know where we are and how high we are. We'll report again at 10 miles. Let's check the outside here. We got this view too. There's 328 Tango Delta. And that powder royal blue, I guess it's a powder blue colors with the Bambino logos on the wings and the little chartreuse green wingtips. I thought I did a pretty good job on the livery. Not to pat myself in the back, I think it looks pretty cool. All right, we have that little FlyInside switch over there. I think that happens when you switch scenery areas or something. I'm not sure. In any event, I want to talk about something once we announce here. I want to talk about gosh, I forgot what it was. Damn. Hate when that happens. Oh, there's my window. See, when you switch the scenery like that, my chat window changes. All right, let's get rid of this thing. White Plains traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 10 miles east of the airport at 3,000 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing runway 36, White Plains. West Plains. White Plains. White Plains is in New York. Thought of something I wanted to talk about and I can't remember what the hell it was. Oh well. Oh, I know what it was. I'm looking for a way to, if I'm broadcasting, if I'm streaming in side-by-side stereoscopic, so like right now, if it was side-by-side stereoscopic, I'm looking for an application that would allow someone in the audience viewing with a VR headset to be able to view what I'm streaming in VR. Not a YouTube viewer, because that YouTube viewers put like a fake like movie screen in front of you, and you watch the video, but it's in the distance. What I'm talking about is something that basically puts stereoscopic into the headset from, you know, by you watching a stereoscopic YouTube video. I cannot find any software that does that. If I had that piece of software, I could recommend that piece of software, then you guys that have Oculus Rifts or HTC Vives, if the software ran on that platform, would be able to see exactly what I'm seeing in VR, which would be really cool, right? That piece of software I don't think exists. And that's what I'm looking for. So anybody have any ideas or any software that might do that, let me know. Please, I'd love to know. Because I can't find anything. West Plains traffic, Cirrus S328 Tango Delta. We are about 5 miles east of the airport at 3,000 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing runway 36, West Plains. All right, let's see if we can zoom in and find our airport here. I'm not sure. Not sure where the hell it is. Hopefully it's there, because we're going to pick up some passengers there. Should be right in front of us. I'm going to take it off autopilot here, and we're going to see if we can find it. Hope it's not a grass strip. We'll figure it out. West Plains traffic, Cirrus S320 Tango Delta. We are 3 miles east of the airport, descending to 2,000 feet for full stop landing, runway 36, West Plains. All right, I think it's there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we're going to do in the left crosswind, so we need to go over here. West Plains traffic, 328 Tango Delta. We are changing course to north of the airport, and we'll be turning left into a left downwind entry into the pattern, West Plains. I'm not sure if that was an official way, but I just want to I want to clear from anybody taking off here and kind of come around here and enter the left downwind. All right, here we go. We're at the 2,300, so we're just about 1,000 feet above above the deck here. Tanks are good. Let's get our mixture full in, which it is. Undercarriage is welded. Sorry, prop is good. No, sorry. Gas is good. We're on the right tank. We're gonna go through Gump, right? Undercarriage is welded. There's our airport. Mixture is in, and prop we don't have to worry about. All right, so we're gonna go fly here a little bit. Let's go. We'll enter the left downwind. West Plains traffic, Cirrus S328 Tango Delta. We are entering the left downwind for runway 36. Full stop landing, West Plains. All right, let's start to slow the plane down. Get our flaps up. Nose is going to come up when we put the flaps up. I have to look how I'm pushing down to keep the nose down. Because you really should be under, like, I think 140 knots before you put those flaps down. I was lowering the mixture, not the throttle. That's a mistake. All right, coming up to 133. Let's change our trim a little bit here. All right, there's the airport there. We're at 120 knots. We're on good parallel flight path to the runway, so we'll make our base turn, and then we'll head into West Plains. Give ourselves a little length to come down. West Plains traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta, turning left base, runway 36, full stop, West Plains. Flaps to full at 110. Get ourselves perpendicular. There's our airfield. Right there, beautiful. That's why you use the bug headings, man. The heading bug. Westfield traffic, Cirrus 32 Tango Delta, turning left, final runway 36, full stop, Westfield, West Plains. Keep on calling it Westfield. All right, descending in, we're at 90 knots. We got 4 whites. That means we're a little high. There's 1 orange, there's 2 orange, beautiful. Slow her up a little bit. No scenery here at West Plains. 88 knots. Throttle down, nose up. Throttle all the way back. Let's slow up to make this, there's an airplane there. Make this ramp here. Looks like a King Air. West Plains traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta, we are clear, runway 36. Taxiing to transient parking, West Plains. We just lied. I'm not going to taxi transient parking. I'm just going to taxi over here. And, gotta load up our passengers, right? All right, let's stop. Let's get on the yellow line and we'll stop. Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
All right, good. Okay, let's set our trim back to takeoff, which is right in the middle of that white. And we will, let's see. Let's get all our lights, our heats off, our lights are off. Avionics off, and mixture back to 0. Get our altimeter off, the battery off, and actually I should have done that first. All right, we are full stop. Thanks for the subscription, whoever just subscribed. I appreciate it. I guess I should have a stream label on there. All right, so let's go to FSEconomy, and we're going to stop this, finish this flight. So that just puts us here. All right, so we update this, and now we've got 28 gallons. We're flying 187 miles. Let me just see, calculate. 3 passengers. Is it one? Just call 200. 13 gallons. You know what? I'm just gonna Why not refuel? Doesn't hurt. I can go to 40 gallons. Let's go to 35 gallons. All right. You guys can't see this, but I got 35 gallons. And now we are going to KIDP for our final leg, 187 nautical miles. And I just crashed. See, as soon as I move the mouse outside of X-Plane 11, that's the problem. This thing hangs up. The chat hangs up. We'll get that back into place in a second. So I'm going to get FSEconomy. Oops. Okay, I've got my 3 passengers. You guys can't see that. Current flight, and we can kill that. And we just got a new member asking to join the AVR Aviators. I just approved that person. Thanks for joining. All right, so let's we're good to go here. We got our 3 passengers. We'll make a little bit of money. Let's get our plane started up here again. So let's get our mixture full, throttle to 25, batteries on. Clear prop, and I do have a start button, so let me use that this time. Clear prop, easy for me to say. Boom, good. And we'll go back to throttle at idle, get our alternators on, battery, get our lights on, get our heat on. And the good news is everything's set up, ready to go, so. Okay, hold on a sec, guys. What's up?
I go to
Yeah. With us? Yeah. Sure. All right, what time do you think you'll be home? Okay, talk to you later. All right, guys, so we're loaded and ready to go. We got our flight plan in. We can see our next stop is KIDP. Let's get going. We're going to taxi to, well, let's set our heading bug here. Hold on. I don't know what, we got to figure out which, so we don't need this one anymore. We are at UNO. We're going to take off 3-6, right? Yeah. No. Yeah, 3-6. We'll take off 3-6. Okay, cool. Okay, West Plains traffic, Cirrus 3 Tango Delta, we're taxiing to runway 36, West Plains. I'll get the chat window up here in a second once I get up in the air. Wouldn't that be cool if you could, if I was flying in VR, or anybody was, you know, streaming in VR, and you could watch it in your headset as if you were in the plane with me? That would be pretty cool. All right, so my tanks are pretty even, so I'll just stay on the left tank. We got plenty of gas to get where we're going, 187 miles. And 187 miles closer to LA. We started this trip in Pennsylvania, in the middle of Pennsylvania, where I bought this plane for a really good deal. And it was in the middle of nowhere. So, and I think it needed some repairs, so I had to fly it to an FBO that had repairs. West Plains traffic, Cirrus 320 Delta, departing runway 36 to the north West Plains. West Plains traffic correction, 328 Tango Delta, departing runway 36, departing to the west, West Plains traffic. All right, so now we know where we're going. So flaps to 1, and we are taking off. Now I'm pretty sure I have to recycle the flight director to be able to pick up that altitude again. I think that's what I learned last time. All right, we are 58, coming up to 60, 65, and rotate. 3 passengers, so and some fuel, so we're a little heavier. But nonetheless, we're going to fly the course of the runway, and then we'll turn left to pick up our GPS. Try to get ourselves up to 84, and then we'll hit the flaps up. All right, 82, 83, flaps up. West Plains traffic, 328 Tango Delta, turning left crosswind, departing to the west. So long, West Plains. All right, say goodbye to West Plains and heading to, was it Boone? I have to remember, I have to look. Can't remember the name. How does UNO equate to West Plains? It's weird, isn't it? I'm going to cycle the flight director. Actually turn it off. And then when I guess when I hit the autopilot, I'm like in a fresh set, right? I'll turn some music on for this next leg here because it's a pretty long leg. All right, making our way on a 280 total nautical mile trip. We've got 184 left to go. Going to make a little money on this trip on FSEconomy, which is a good deal. Check our frame rates. They're probably awful, and they are. They're fine in the headset, but it's 16 in X-Plane 11, which is just terrible. Hopefully that'll improve with native VR. Okay, we're coming up to speed here. Let's go to autopilot on and nav on, and we should pick up, nicely pick up 2935. Not sure why we're still going up, but we're not. We're settling down there. Yeah, so I guess you got to cycle the flight director. I think you have to cycle the flight director. All right, so I'm going to keep the pedal to the metal here because I want to get there as quick as possible. So let me just check. Let's just check. Let's just see here. Get right with you guys. All right, let's see. Are we on the left tank? Yep, let's switch over to the right tank. We're on the right tank now. Everything is good to go. I know what I want to do. Let's set my frequencies for the next airport. So we're going to go to... Hey! McAllis Pets. Thanks for the subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to KIDP. First, I want to look at it on the sectional. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, where is it? Where is it? There it is. KIDP, non-towered airport. Okay, so let's go to... Let's go to my binder, KIDP. Let's take a look at the picture. So we could land 2-2, which is a short one, right? Or we could land straight into 170, which was 17, which I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to land straight into 17, all right? So let's get our frequencies. So SETCOM 1 to 123.05.
COM1 set to 123.05.
SETCOM 2 to 118.52.
COM2 set to 118.52.
Okay. All right, so we're going to land, let's just look at remarks here. The left pattern into 17, but we're going to do straight in. John Fisher, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Boy, that's about 5 subscriptions, I think, so far. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna enter. Let's set our heading bug. Set heading bug to 170.
Heading bug set to 170 degrees.
So we're gonna land 170 straight in approach. So we'll just basically fly a little bit north of the airport, and we'll just let them. We're gonna know that we're gonna do. Should we do? No. Let's do left pattern. Let's do left pattern. So we're going to fly south of the airport. We're going to enter on the left downwind for one-way 170. That's what we're going to do. Let's keep, because it says left pattern, so let's do it. Let's do left pattern. All right. Left pattern 170. We're going to enter on the left downwind. Okay. Do things right. Work on the pattern work. So we'll fly south of the airport, enter on the left downwind. We got a little bit of time to think about it, so give me 1 second here, guys. Now guys, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I just had a quick bite to eat. I take care of a couple things here. So, one thing I wanted to mention to you guys was there was a new. If you guys aren't aware, let me just get rid of the "Be Right Back" thing. There is a new version of FlyInside available if you're a VR flyer for X-Plane 11 1.83. I'm not sure if these are new. The one for FSX and P3D, 4 and P3D. I'm not sure if these are newer, but I know this one is a new one, and it's designed to work with 11.10 beta. So you might want to just check if you're not running this. Pardon me. Even if you haven't upgraded to the X-Plane beta yet, you might want to get this installed. I have it installed so that you know you're working properly. And some people have said the mouse movements are working better in this version. So I'm not sure. I have not had a chance to look and see what they fixed or they improved in this release. So, but you might want to check that out. Also, I mentioned before the flight simulator. Oh, hold on, that's the wrong thing. There you go. The Aviators group. There's the logo you look for. VR Aviators Virtual Reality Flight Simulation. It's facebook.com/VR Aviators. You already have 32 members. Just had a couple this morning added. So please consider joining this group if you're interested in VR aviation. Should be interesting for you. So hope to see you there. All right, back in the plane. Let's see, let me check on our status here. All right, let's see, what do we got here? Let's pull up the PFD. So we've got 138, we've got about an hour left to go. And let's check our frame rates. Oof. Ooh. Ooh. Awful. And that must be because look at all the freaking trees. It must be. Maybe if I fly higher, the frame rate will be better. Let me just see. I'm going to take this up to... I'm going to take this up to 5,000. Why not? 5,100. Let's go there. You know what? I'm going to use a vertical speed. We'll go at 500. 500 feet per minute. See, we're rising up there. See it right here on the PFD. So there's our autopilot, vertical speed, 500 feet per minute. We're going to 5,100. All right. Still maintaining pretty good airspeed to get up there pretty darn quick. See our feet whipping off. I just want to see if the frame rates improve if you're higher up. Better switch tanks. We're going to go to our right tank now. I am going to lean around a little bit here. Figured at 13 gallons per hour. See if we're getting any frame rate improvement. We are a little bit. Well, not really. Just awful. Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Terrible. What's amazing is I fly this plane at San Diego and I get like 27 frames per second. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. Now let me just see something. I'm going to go outside here for a second. If I go like this and look up at the sky, let's see what my frame rates are. So they go a little better, 18. It's still not fantastic. Well, look at that. I don't know if you could see that, but you could see the moon just barely in the sky. That's pretty cool. Never noticed that before. The opacity of the moon. Let's go right underneath the, looking straight up in the sky now. And now we're at 21, so frame rates increased quite a bit when the view is straight up, but that's not very interesting to see. Come back down here, and we're at 18, 17. Come back in the cockpit, and we're at 14. Which is god-awful. 13. God-awful. Not sure why. But it's going to be a long flight if that's the case. I might as well take her up. I'm going to take her up even higher. Let's go up to 7,000. Why not? Maybe the frame rates will improve. Let's just see. Nope. Still 14 in the X-plane. 94 in the headset. No offense, FlyInside, but I can't wait for X-Plane native VR. Can't come soon enough. $5,000. It's more fun flying up high, too. We switch to the left tank. 125 miles left to go. Now, will the autopilot go to switch off vertical speed when I hit that 7080? I'm not sure. I think it should, right? So that's perfect. 112 knots, 500 feet per minute. Making a good climb. Now, I do have FlyInside set on the higher graphics setting, so that could be a major factor here. Although on the ground in most of these airports, I was getting in the 20s in frame rate, so I might have to change that back. It does give a better visual for you guys on the Oculus mirror because it's more dense pixels, but it sacrifices frame rate. And at 14 frames per second, we're well under normal, you know, in real life time in the simulator. So we're just going at a crawl, which is not good. And I can't reset that resolution without resetting FlyInside, so we're kind of stuck with it. All right, through 6,000. $63. Now we'll have a hell of a descent here when we come down, so our airport's at 850, I think, 850 feet, so we're gonna have to start descending probably about 20 miles out. Now, what would be good is if it just stopped at start to stop at 7080. We'll see. 6,800. I don't even see a. Oh, there it is. 7080. So let's see what happens here. If I go a little over, it's okay. Doesn't seem to be slowing down, so I would assume that it's not. Oh yeah, good. There it is. It's going to slow down. Nice. That's how it should do it. That's how it should do it. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. All right, so if you set vertical speed and you set an altitude. It'll ride up until it hits that set altitude and then slow her down. Beautiful. That's great. All right, good. I'm going to bring our throttle back a little bit here. We are leaned back to just under 8 gallons per hour. So just check our range here quickly. And our range is 367, so should be fine there. Everything's looking good on the MDF. (117 nautical miles, about 54 minutes. Let's just see if we gained any frame rate here. Maybe no, not really. Didn't really make a difference. So I'm going to have to change the settings in FlyInside back to the second to highest graphics setting. It just until we at least get to the desert, because all this, I think all this autogen, all the trees and stuff is just slowing the simulator down. So that's unfortunate. But hopefully we'll see more and more improvements in X-Plane with that frame rate. Let's see. So I want to let's go back to the map here. Let me just see what kind of, if I go outside here now, and it should probably still be in the 20s. Let's just see. Yeah, 18. If I look up, it gets better. We are way up there. All right, so let's pick up our, since we have plenty of fuel, let's just pick up our throttle a little bit and our ground speed, our airspeed. Switch the tank back over to left. It's nice to have that on the button. That's a famous look you get in the real world pilots streams, or I should say vlogs. Vlogs, not vlogs, vlogs. You get a look at one of their wings like that. I also thought it would be kind of cool if, I don't know if FlyInside of this, maybe X-Plane would do it, is if they allowed you to have like virtual GoPro cameras in the cockpit. So I could basically set up 2 or 3 GoPro cameras in different areas with different angles in the cockpit, and when I'm flying, I guess actually you could do that if you replay the flight, right? You could do that if you replay the flight, because if you replay the flight, yeah, never mind, I figured that out. Okay, cool. But see, a flight like this is so long. It's going to be, you know, a couple of hours. So I'm gonna do some experimenting with that and see if I could show different views. That'd be kind of cool. But I have to do it on a recorded flight, not on a stream, right? Because I can't, on a stream, I can't mix things in. So I have to record this without any participation, although there hasn't been much participation today because nobody's in the chat. I guess Sunday, I guess everybody's watching football. I myself, I haven't watched football. I'm a sports fan. I'm actually a Jets fan. I just honestly lost my interest in the NFL. And it didn't happen over this national anthem thing. It happened, like, it's been happening over the last couple of years. I just, I don't know. Everything in the league has changed for me. The rules, the violence, the off-field antics. I just, it's not, the NFL is not the same to me that it used to be when I was a kid, you know. I really look forward to Sunday football games. In fact, we'd go over to my grandparents' house, and every Sunday the Dallas Cowboys were on the late game, 4 p.m. game on CBS. Every single Sunday. That's how they became America's team, because they were always on TV. They had the local game, Jets and Giants, on one of the stations, either NBC or CBS. Back then, Fox wasn't around. So it would be NBC or CBS would carry both the AFC and the NFC games, Jets and the Giants. And then they always have, or seems to me they always have, whoever the Dallas playing whoever every single week. I think that's why so many people hate the Dallas Cowboys, because they had to watch them every week. But yeah, it was a different league back then. I mean, here's the difference. Like, I remember, when I was in high school, there were a couple of players that played for, like, professional football teams that were substitute teachers at our high school. Now, I'm not saying those guys shouldn't be making lots of money for what they do, because, you know, the owners make money, and the NFL makes money, and the sponsors make money, and the players are the product, so they should take part in that. And I totally get that, and I'm not saying that they should be substitute teachers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they were more connected with the public, right? And the same with baseball and all sports. Like, I remember when I was in Little League, little kid, players from the Mets and the Yankees used to come to our parents' night and speak for about 10-15 minutes, and then sit there and sign autographs for like 200 kids or 300 kids. These were like professional baseball players. That would never happen today. You can't even get a minor league player to come to a Little League night anymore. It was just a different, sports were different then, you know? And I think but the NFL has really changed, and I think they just got a little too big for their britches. They're making so much money that they kind of like felt they could do whatever they wanted. And now that there's been a bit of a backlash, and there seems to have been a bit of a change in, please come back, there you go, change in the revenue stream, they may be getting a little bit wise to it, but it's still, you know, I just don't know. The game on the field, to me, is different. And like I said, it wasn't the National Anthem League thing that turned me off. It's been a progressiveness over the last, you know, 3 or 4 years. So in any event, unfortunately, when baseball ends for me, and by the way, what an amazing World Series, right? When baseball ends for me, my sports, basically, I'm just a baseball fan. I like hockey. I watch hockey once in a while. I'm not into basketball. So when baseball ends, that's pretty much it for me until spring training, you know. And that's, spring training is not until February, so I got the 3 months here to to fly, right? But in any event, So my Sundays are free now because I don't really watch football anymore, and I don't miss it. To be honest with you, it's, you know, being a Jets fan, there's not much to miss, even though they are playing a little bit better this year. I think over their heads. There's not much to miss there. So, in any event, and the Giants are just as bad. I'm not a Giants fan, but they're just as bad. They're pretty horrible too. So, in any event, give me 1 second, guys. Alrighty, what do we got here? Let's just pull up the PFD here. We got 94 miles. We got a half hour, a little over a half hour. Not too bad. Did I set my frequencies? Let's just make sure my frequencies are set. I think I did, but I just want to verify that I did. We don't need this guy anymore. I'm not going back there. Independence Municipal Airport. Frequencies are 123.05, which we got, and AWAS is 118.52. And look, it says clearance, but it's a non-towered airport, so maybe sometimes they have towers. I don't know. In any event, we're gonna stick this. We're gonna stick with this as non-towered. And what we said we were gonna do was go to the airport diagram. What did we say? 1.7. All right. So let me pull my mouse up here. You guys can see my mouse. So we're gonna come in 1.7. Oh, sorry. Did we say 1.7? We're gonna land 1.7. So we're gonna go to the south, and we're going to do a left pattern into 1.7. So we'll go to the south of the airport, enter on the left downwind, and we'll do a left pattern into 1.7. Right? That's the plan. Isn't it a great looking plane? Man, I'd love to have one of those in real life. Really would. What I love about it is if you zoom in here, you can see the PFD and the MFD display right there, and it's realistic, man. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, back in the cockpit here. So I do want to mention that, give me 1 second here. Yeah, so I do like to mention that I do have sponsoring set up on YouTube. So if you want to, if you're in gaming or if you're in the chat here in this live stream, you can hit the sponsor button and sponsor. I think it's $5 a month or something like that. Not necessary, but it helps to improve the channel and improve content and improve the equipment that I have to bring you this content. So if you want to consider, that's great. Don't have to, no big deal. Also, super chat. So if you want to, if you're into super chat and you want to do that, that'd be fine. That'd be great. And again, no, not necessary. Now, I did have donations set up through Streamlabs, but I've taken donations off. I don't really think I need to do donations. I think that if people want to sponsor, there's plenty of ways to do that. You can do it through YouTube or you can do it through Patreon. You can hit my Patreon link. I've got anywhere from $1 up to $10 sponsorship level. So if you'd like to do that, that's fine. But I'm doing away with the donations. I just don't think it's appropriate. I think sponsoring is the better way to do it, right? And again, if you get on Patreon for $10, you get your name on the wing of the Bambino SR20 right there, like Donovan Young did. Either left or right wing will start. We're going to balance it out, and it'll be in view. So when I look out the wing like that from the pilot seat, you'll be able to see that. All right? So that's Patreon, and the link is in the description for Patreon if you want to check that out. There's a $1 level, like I said. There's a $5 level, and there's a $10 level. But any sponsorship on Patreon is appreciated because, you know, you don't make the money you think you make on YouTube with advertising. It's not as lucrative as you might think. You know, I've got almost 9,000 subscribers, but there was a time when that was a nice way to earn some money to help you improve your channel. But since the apocalypse and the censoring and all that stuff you could read about with YouTube, it just hasn't been that good. So Patreon or sponsoring or super chat are great ways to supplement that. So just consider those. Again, not necessary, but just something to consider. Yeah, so speaking of YouTube, for all of you fellow YouTubers, I'd like to know if you're experiencing the same thing. Now, my channel is pretty family friendly, right? I don't curse a lot. Once in a while, I'll drop a curse here and there, but it's a pretty clean channel. I don't talk about controversial topics at all. Like I said, it's family friendly. Like a 13-year-old kid can watch this, right? And I do that for a reason. There's no reason to be offensive with constantly dropping the F-bomb or whatever, right? So, and I don't talk about controversial topics because, yeah, I don't want to turn anybody off. It's not the type of channel for that. This channel is about simulation games, right? And the enjoyment that we get out of them. I will tell you that YouTube has this new policy that they can limit the amount of advertising that you get on a video. Basically, if your video violates some censorship rules that they have, which means it's inappropriate for their advertisers. Okay? Pretty much every single video I put up, streams as well as posted videos, get hit with this limited advertising thing, and you can manually appeal it. Okay, you got to hit a button, manually appeal it, and then they will. And every single time I've done that, they've given me full advertising on the video. So a couple questions. First of all, you have no notification that they flagged one of your videos with limited advertising or no advertising. So the only way to know is to go through all your videos and do a search on it in your video manager to be able to see if any of your videos were demonetized. They call it demonetized, right? Or limited monetized. So that's one problem. They should send you an email This video has just been limited in advertisement. So they let you know, right? They should be able to do that. It's Google. They should have the most sophisticated software in the world. Let the YouTube creators know that a video has been limited in advertising. Secondly, don't they know by now that every single video that I've put up for manual review, which by now has been at least 30 videos, not one of them has been rejected? So wouldn't you think that they would have some way to tweak their AI sensors, the machine learning sensors, because that's what it is. It's software doing it, right? That I'm not offensive and that my content isn't offensive. I don't understand it. And now maybe someone's reporting me, and that's how it's happening. But it makes no sense whatsoever that, you know, because there was like this one video that was way deep down. I think I published it like a year ago, okay? And it came up as limited advertising. And I wouldn't have found it unless I did a search on, you can sort your videos by things that are flagged for limited advertising. And this video was a train simulator video of when I was driving a train past a nuclear power plant. And it was flagged as not suitable for advertisers. And I was like, what? So I submitted a manual, and it took 4 weeks for them to come back and say, okay, it's all right. Now, I will say that the newer videos that I've been putting up, when they get flagged, I put this manual, and within a day or two, it comes back and it's, okay for monetization. But come on, guys. I mean, I'm not talking about like, controversial political subjects here. I'm talking about aviation, virtual aviation. It doesn't make sense to me. So they really have to fix that, because and okay if you have to do it, but give me some sort of notification. Send me an email. We've just flagged this video. Let me know. Instead of me having to go search it, I basically have to search it every day to make sure that nothing's been flagged. Because if a video from a year ago had been flagged, right, then any one of my videos can be flagged at any time. So I've got to check it pretty much daily to make sure that nothing's been flagged and I don't have to submit anything for manual review. The video I did the other day on the MFD, when they added the background to the MFD for this plane, that was flagged. For what? Because I was talking about a new feature of a virtual airplane? How could their AI robots be accurate if it's flagging that? There was nothing offensive in the description. There was no offensive words or controversial words in the description of the title. There was nothing in that video that would have caused it to be flagged. So YouTube has to get their act together, because it's becoming a super, super pain in the ass. It really is becoming a pain in the ass. Well, anyway, that's my rant about that. I hope they fix it soon, because it's really a pain in the ass. So anyway, that's my rant about YouTube. I mean, what they're doing is and here's the other thing. I've seen controversial topics, like I follow some people that are interesting people, right? Because I like to watch some of those videos, right, about the controversial topics, if you will. I've seen one person who seems to be more of like a central or right-leaning person talk about a specific controversial topic. In his video, he'll come out and say it was flagged for demonetization, right? And then I'll see a talk show host, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, more Jimmy Kimmel, talking about that same thing on YouTube, and that video is in the hot and is trending and is monetized. And this is happening all over YouTube. So what they're basically doing is they're censoring based upon revenue. So if you're a big YouTube channel and you're a mainstream media outlet like Jimmy Kimmel or a big name like that, they'll give you preferential treatment and let you say things that they won't let me say, which is not right. That is not right. That's basically censoring based upon status. And YouTube and Google, the company that should be, you know, talking about diversity and equality and all that, it's a complete hypocrisy. Now, watch this video get flagged because I'm talking about this stuff. But I'm not saying anything wrong here. I'm talking about, you know, I disagree with the way that they're handling their demonetization policies. So, in any event, look at it yourself. It's not fair. And you know, for content creators, small content creators like me, I don't need that advertising revenue to live. I don't. I have a real job, okay? But that advertising revenue helps me buy things that I need to help the channel, right? It helps me buy a yoke, it helps me buy a flight stick, things that are like adding to the content, right? So that's the way I look at it, and they should be encouraging small creators like me, you know, people with 10,000 subscribers or, you know, less, to improve their channels, to make them bigger. It only helps them, right? The more views I get on my videos, the more money that Google and YouTube make. So why would they want to not treat us as fair as they do the large content creators? Anyway, something to be thought about. Let me tell you, YouTube is not an easy thing to do. It's very easy to create content and talk to you guys about something I really like to do, like flying this plane, okay? But the back end of it stuff is not easy. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. YouTube 5 years ago was much, much, much better. Much better. So anyway, that's my second rant about YouTube. And watch, this video is going to be demonetized now because I was talking about that. There's an airport down there. Let's figure out which one it is. KJLA. Let's pull up the PFD so we can read it easier. Hard to read through the thing there. KJLN, I think. Yeah, KJLN. Let's see if we got it on there. Yeah, KJLN. Right there, 5 miles to the... Well, wouldn't it be nice if it showed you direction? It doesn't. Oh yeah, 329. So it's right there. All right, cool. Let's see what else we got there. We're coming into some civilization now. Maybe the frame rates have improved. Let's see. No, we're still at 14. All right, 20 minutes out, 62 miles. We're making our way there. Boy, I can only imagine. So when I get this plane to LA and I hire someone to fly it to Hawaii for me, it's going to take them 6 hours to do that. Now, they'll probably speed up time. So they'll probably take them half the time. But still, it's going to be, you know, a long flight, man. It's 2,500 miles. It's a long flight. All right, so I've been getting some requests both in the comments and also private messaging to play more Train Simulator. So I know that I've got a lot of Train Simulator fans in the almost 9,000 subscribers that we've got on this channel, which, by the way, thank you so much for all the help and all the love on the subscription side. Approaching almost 9,000 subscribers is pretty amazing, you know, and I'm looking forward to getting to that goal of 10. I'm going to do something special for 10. But I will tell you that I'm going to start playing some more Train Simulator, probably TSW, and getting more into that, you know. But I am kind of consumed by two things right now. X-Plane 11, which I'm always consumed by in VR, and also Gold Rush the game. I know, I'm sure a lot of people on the channel that are interested in flight simulation think that, what the hell is he doing playing that game? You know, it's interesting because I used to play a lot of Farm Simulator, and that got really boring after a while, and I was looking, there was a mod that they had for Farm Simulator that allowed you to do gold mining, and I looked into that. It looked kind of kludgy. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to spend my time configuring it. Just the installation was like ridiculous, so I was like, forget it, right? I said, man, if they ever come out with a gold mining game, I'm like all over that. Well, they last about a year ago or so, they had a demo, and I got a copy of the demo from the developer or the distributor for the developer, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And a couple of weeks ago, they released the early release. It really is an early release of the game Gold Rush the Game, and it's basically affiliated with Gold Rush on the Discovery Channel. If you haven't seen that show, it's like the #1 show on Discovery Channel. One of my favorite shows. I never missed an episode. But it's a gold mining game. There's 3 claims. You start with a shovel, and you work your way up to like a multi-tiered wash plant with dump trucks and excavators and front loaders and heavy equipment, and it's very cool. It's a lot of fun. The concept of the game is awesome. Now, the game does have some problems. It's early access and some things that they need to work out. But the developers are working to work out the bugs and the glitches and stuff. And it's just, to me, it's a lot of fun. I know it's just digging in the dirt, but it kind of brings back some things from childhood, and I don't know, it's just fun, just a lot of fun. So you're going to see me playing it from time to time. I know I went a little overboard in the last couple of weeks, but I'm probably going to stick to, you know, kind of evening it more out with content from X-Plane 11, because that is the core of what I like to do the most, flying in VR. You know, now that I've kind of ramped up my Gold Rush, I'm going to kind of pull it back a little bit, and maybe 1 or 2 videos a week. We'll see, you know. But it's a lot of fun, and you know, it's a different group of people that watch those videos. I know that, and I don't expect a lot of crossover between the two because they're very different genres, if you will. So, but anyway, I'm enjoying it. So if you happen to be interested in, just check out one of the videos that I put up. And if you're interested, from time to time I'm going to be streaming. Just join the stream, drop in and say hello, and I'd love to talk to you about it. And it's only a $20 game. It's inexpensive. Now they'll probably have DLC down the road, I would imagine, but it's a fun game. It really is. All right, so we got, let's just pull up the PFD here so it's easier for you to see. Come on. Where's my mouse? There it is. All right, so we got 52 nautical miles, and we're 19 miles out. Probably could start descending slowly. In fact, that's what we'll do. I'm going to set my altimeter to, see if this works the other way. I'm going to set this to 3,000. And we'll see if this works the other way. We'll go down 300 feet per minute. Slow descent. Let me get my tank on the right tank now because we're leaning a little bit to the left. We're going to pick up some airspeed too, so that's a good thing. Get there a little faster. Still, we got plenty of gas to get where we're going. Let's see if we can pick up the weather on COM 2 yet.
Independence Muni weather.
Yep.
Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 22, dew point -15. Altimeter 2939.
Okay. No procedures, so 2939. They're not telling me I need to ask for clearance or anything. So I'm considering it a towered airport, and we'll consider it as such. All right, let's just go over our procedures again, what we're going to be doing here. Get to our binder. So we said we're going to land at 17, right? So we're going to go to the south, and we're going to enter on the left downwind. Well, yeah, we're entering the left downwind, and then we'll fly our way into 17. Pretty sure I set the heading bug. Just verify. Yep, 170. Yeah, so altimeter set at 2970, so we should stop at 2970 when we get there. So good, I'm glad that works. That helps things out. That way I can fly higher now, because it is nice to fly high. You know, in 50 miles out, you start to descend, and that's plenty of time to get down in a nice, easy fashion. All right, so last topic. I know I've been taught, well, maybe not the last topic, but I know I've probably talked before on the cross-country trips, which I never finished, but I'm going to finish this one, about redoing my PC. Right now I've got a i7 6700, which is a older, even though it's a good CPU, it's an older generation CPU. The 7700s are out, 77K, which is probably the one I would go after. But it requires a different motherboard. So I'm seriously thinking about getting a new motherboard and getting a new CPU. Now the good news is I could sell my old CPU for like 250 bucks, which is great. So I think I figured out the net of all that would be like 180 bucks. But it's, you know, taking a step where I've got to make sure everything easily goes over to the new motherboard and all that stuff. So I've been trying to get some time to plan out the migration to the upgraded CPU, because I don't want to have to reinstall everything on the hard drives and reinstall Windows and all that. And I read somewhere that that was possible to do that. So what I want to do is I want to take, I think I have a Z170 board, and I'm going to have to buy was it a 270 board, I think it's called, for the 7700K. And I want to keep everything the same. I don't want to change out my M.2 drive, which is the boot drive, or any of the SSDs. All that stuff stays the same. The only difference is, even my case, only difference I want it to be is a different motherboard and a different what do you call it, CPU. Now I'm even going to use the same brand, because I use a Gigabyte motherboard. I'll even use a Gigabyte motherboard, so there's no, you know, going to the new motherboard. But I want to do that because I think having the faster CPU will probably add about 30 to 40% performance in X-Plane. And, you know, while we're waiting for Vulkan to happen, which isn't going to probably happen until sometime late next year, I would guess, it would be nice to have more CPU. So we'll see. I'm thinking strongly about doing that, and maybe that'll help improve the frame rates a little bit. I don't know. But I think I figured out that buying the 7700 and the motherboard and selling my old CPU for like $250, the net cost is like around $200, which isn't really that bad, right? It's not that bad to upgrade to get that more power, like 30 to 40% more CPU power. So that's probably in the cards pretty soon to do. But what it's going to mean is I'll probably be down for, you know, a couple days or maybe even longer until I get my system sorted out from doing the swap. So I'm going to make an effort to do the due diligence to figure out the plan on how I'm going to do that. And then hopefully that'll mean better streams and better graphic quality and better frame rates and better content for the channel. And there's an example of why the Patreon support and the advertising support and all that stuff helps me to improve things. Simple thing like that, upgrading a CPU on my computer, right? Or I was also thinking about building a PC specifically for streaming. You know, like cheap PC with like an i5, something in it like that, and get like a 980, which I think would be fine for streaming, which probably wouldn't be too expensive. And that PC is specifically for streaming. Something real small, right? So I was thinking about doing that too, but we'll see, because right now I'm using the same PC to run X-Plane, to run VR, to run OBS and streaming, and you know, streaming takes up about 9% of the CPU and probably about, you know, 10-15% of the GPU. I've got a pretty strong GPU, but maybe offloading that would improve things too. So those are two kind of things I'm thinking about doing to improve the stream on the hardware side. So anyway, we got 12 minutes to go. I think I should probably get down a little faster here. We'll go to 400 feet. Actually, let's go to 5. Why not? We'll go to 5. Because I have a feeling if I had a 7700K, I wouldn't be getting 14 frames per second or 15 frames per second. I have a feeling I'd probably be getting about 20, 25 right now. And if it's a net $200 difference, then why not, right? Why not? As long as I know the migration is going to be easy. What I read was that you buy the motherboard, you buy the CPU, you put the new motherboard in, you put the new CPU in, you put all your stuff back in, including your Windows boot drive and stuff, and everything should work properly. So I've got to make sure of that, though, before I do it, right? Now, the nice thing about descending is we're doing it at about 160 knots, so we're picking up some speed here. We're going to report at 20 miles, so we're landing runway 17 at Independence, right? Entering left downwind for full stop landing 17 at Independence. So we're going to have to fly south of the airport. And then turn right, enter on the left downwind. But thanks for checking out stream. I know I've been watching here. We have had some people in there. Just everyone's kind of shy of chatting today, so that's fine. It does help when you guys ask questions and stuff because it gives me things to talk about, especially on these longer trips. But that's okay. I can come up with topics to keep people entertained, or at least to rant like I did about YouTube before. Don't have anything else to rant about. I do have some things to rant about, and they're X-Plane related, but I'll sort of keep them to myself because I don't want to cause any controversy, and I think it would. So I'll keep some of my opinions to myself here. All right, 9 miles out, 9 minutes out, I should say, 27 miles. So I think we could just we'll report at 25. We're due east of the airport, right? We're going to entering the left downwind for runway 17, full stop 17, right? Independence. And we are on the right tank, yes. Which is the one we want to be on. Yeah, I'm glad I moved it to 500 because we were kind of going down a little slow there. Independence traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are about 25 miles east of the airfield at 3,000 feet. Sorry, at 3,800 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing at runway 17, Independence. All right, everybody knows we're coming. And we'll report at 15. I don't know what the protocol is there. I've seen people do it at 10, some at 20. Pilot Edge says you do it at 10. I don't know. I saw Mr. Aviation 101, a YouTuber, really great YouTuber. He does vlogs of his real piloting. I really like watching him. He was in a SR22 or a 20 doing a flight, and they reported to a non-towered airport CTAF like 20 miles out, and 10 miles out, and 5 miles out. But they started at 20, so I think 20 is probably reasonable, and why not? It doesn't hurt to, to give people an update of where you are, right? Now our ETA will slow as we start to slow the plane down, which I'm going to start to do now. So I want mixture full in. I'm just going to pull the throttle back to about 70%. All right, last leg of our trip. We got these 3 passengers to bring there, make a little bit of money, and we'll be 280 nautical miles closer to Los Angeles. Now this plane probably has the range to go from this next stop all the way to Las Vegas, but that'd be like a three-hour flight, and I'm not sure I'm into doing that. So. All right, we're going to come down to our point here. Let's see, we should start slowing up, and it is. I love that. That's awesome. I love the way the autopilot works like that. Set your vertical speed, set your desired altitude, and it just brings you right to it. That's great. Independence traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 20 miles east of the airfield at 3,000 feet. We will be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing at 17, Independence. All right, so we're on our way to our last leg here. Nice. Let's see, 145, we're 18. We'll report again at 15. Why not be safe? We got our mixture full in. What are we on, the left tank? Let's go to the right tank. All right, we're on the right tank. And we are 60%. We just covered a big chunk there, 180 miles. That's a lot. I probably won't be able to see it from here, but I'll just, let me see if it's out there. No, I don't see it. Usually about 10 miles we can see it. tell you one thing I've been doing more is on Pilot Edge. I've been doing towered airport pattern work. So like at St. Louis, you know, basically transient parking, request taxi for pattern work, and then get clearance from the tower, and basically, you know, do circuits around St. Louis. It's kind of cool to do that. Independence traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 15 miles east of the airfield. We'll be entering at 3,000 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing at runway 17 Independence. All right. That's 15 miles. You could probably, you're going to have to come down. We're at 800 feet, so we're 2,000. So let's bring her down to. Let's bring her down to 2,000. Okay, vertical. We'll go at 400 feet per minute. Let's do our, we're on a checklist here. Let's go to pre-flight, pre-landing. Descent altimeter set, cabin defrost. Okay, landing lights are on. Fuel system check. Mixture is required. Brake pressure check. Okay. Before landing, seatbelt fastened, which it is. Fuel pump to boost, which we will do. Mixture full rich. Flaps at required, and autopilot off, right? And then it's a bulk landing, so we want autopilot disengage, which we're not going to be using anyway. Power lever full forward, flaps to 1. It's 50%. Airspeed at angle climb of 81 to 81 KIAS, okay? And after cleared, to say the obstacle flaps up. Okay, so you want to climb at 83. That's a bulk landing. We can figure that out. And after landing, okay. So we'll just basically go. I just basically go through Gump before landing. We are 11 miles out, and what I'll do pretty shortly here is take control and start to fly to the south, a little bit south. Independence traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 10 miles east of the airport. We'll be entering on the left downwind for runway 17, full stop, Independence. All right, we should be able to see the airfield. Let's just see if we can zoom in and see it. Don't see it. Where is it? Is it way out there? Must be. All right, well, wait till we get to 5. We're at 8 now. We're going to be at 2,000, so we'll only have 1,200 feet. And there we are, right there. Let's just see here. Not sure why I don't see it. Maybe that's it way out there. Seven miles out, we're coming to 2,000. Altimeter should just stop right there at 2,000, which it does. What I love is it lowers the descent. So you have a nice, easy, clean. That's really nice the way it does that. Good job on the autopilot there. I'm going to start using that more. You know, as you fly the plane, you kind of learn the systems more, and you can take advantage of the systems. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this trip, because I really wanted to learn all the ins and outs of this plane, and I think it's a good thing. So let me just turn one thing off here. All right, so we're 6 miles out. God, I'm surprised we can't see it. Is that it there? I don't know where the hell it is. Well, we're going to have blind faith. It's got to be there, right? It's got to be there. Okay. Independence traffic, Cirrus SR20 Tango Delta. We are 5 miles east of the airport. We'll be entering left downwind for runway. Full stop, 17, Independence. All right, let's take control of this damn airplane. And we'll get ourselves landed. Okay, where's my stick? There's my stick. Autopilot is off. Okay, G. Gas. I'm using that as a sorry, I'm on both tanks. I'm on sorry, both tanks are about the same. So I'm on the left tank, right tank. Sorry. Undercarriage is welded. I don't have to worry about that. Mixture is in, and propeller, I don't have to worry about that either. There's no prop control. So what I do have to worry about, though, is finding the friggin' airfield. Which it should be right there to my 1 o'clock. Let me just take a look here. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see my runway. I see it. Okay, I got it. I'm going to go over here. I think I see it. It's kind of hidden there because it didn't have any buildings. When these airports don't have any buildings, it's hard to spot them, you know, because it's just basically a flat runway. And a lot of these little podunk airports don't have any, you know, have no markings. All right, we're south of that runway now. And I could probably turn right here. Independence traffic, Cirrus 32 Delta. We are entering the left downwind for runway 17, full stop, Independence. And there we go. We're on the left downwind. Use our compass bug. Get us right parallel with the airport, which we are right now. There we are. Beautiful. All right, we're about 1,200 feet above, so although it doesn't seem like 1,200 feet. Seems a little lower than that, but maybe not. But the good news is we found the airport, and the better news is we're in our pattern, so we should be do everything by the book, and we should be landing shortly. Tell our 3 passengers to buckle up. Put your headrest back, seat up, and remain comfortable and calm as we bring this beautiful Cirrus SR20 in for a landing at Independence, runway 17. All right, let's go to flaps to 1. Nose comes up a little bit. We gotta push down. Plane and the nose comes up. You see that? I think they have to work on that. Tweak that a little bit. I'm not sure if that's real or not, but I watched some real-world pilots flying the SR22, and I didn't see that happening, so. All right. Independence traffic, Cirrus 32 Tango Delta turning left base for runway 17, full stop, Independence. Okay, there's our runway. Plenty of time to get down. Let's go to full flaps. Independence traffic. Cirrus 320. They go to turning final. Runway 17. Full stop. Independence. Yeah, I could see the frame rates like are low, which sucks. I'm gonna have to change that setting in FlyInside. I think that'll improve things. I'm gonna do that right after I finish the stream, so I don't forget. All right, we are lined up. Flaps are full. Independence traffic. Cirrus 328 Tango Delta on short final. Runway 17. Full stop. Independence. Use that rudder a little bit for correction. Yeah, no, but nothing here, so that's why it's hard to pick this thing up. There's 17. Flaps up. All right, end of a long flight. Let's just slow this plane down. I hate the way those brakes sound. Please, Mario, fix the brakes. I mean, you could just tweak them a little bit like that, but I hate the way they do that. It makes that's the sound of the wheels, the tires touching the runway for the first time, right? Made it safe and sound. Got our passengers here and picked up probably about $2 grand. We'll go through that in a second here. All right, let me park right here. Set parking brake.
Brakes
set. Independence 328 Tango. Sorry. Independence traffic. Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. Clear runway 17. Independence. All right, we're clear. So let's turn our power off. Mixture in. Get all our buttons off here. Plane is ready to go. We'll lock her up. Well, let's assume we're in a general aviation parking. But we made it here safe and sound. Now let's check out the kind of money we made. So I'm going to disengage FSEconomy. Where is that? You guys can't see that, but I can. Finish flight. Boom. All right, we finished the flight. Now let's go to show you the Chrome window here. There we go. So this was our flight here. And go to my flight. Oops, go to log. And it looks like we made almost 2,500 bucks in earnings. So cost was an hour and 22. That was from UNO to KDIP. No cost in rental, obviously, because we own the crew. Ground crew, 270, which is nothing. So we made 2,400 bucks. Not bad. So gas money, actually more than gas money. And we'll just add that to the pot. Now, I always like to keep $1,000 in there. And that's about it, guys. So it was a nice trip from KMAW to Independence, 280 nautical miles. We'll be back, excuse me, easy for me to say. We'll be back next time, taking off from Independence to somewhere in the west. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Probably about a 300 nautical mile trip, maybe with a few more stops this time to maybe like 3 or 4 stops just to break it up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games for more virtual reality, X-Plane 11 flying, and FSEconomy. Thanks for watching, guys, and fly safe.